Hello, everybody. This is Dan, and this is Andrea and I's official review of our last book we read, which was called Madstone Gap. But I'll let Andrea introduce it real fast, and I'm going to share my screen to show you the book cover and where to find it digitally to read while you're at home if you want to.
Hi, this is Andrea, and Dan and I read The Big Stone Gap by Adriana Trigiani. This is a book first book, I don't know if you want to say it's in a series or not, but there are a few other books that do sort of follow along behind this one. So Big Stone Gap is written about a small town in Appalachia. So of course you always have then small town gossip, people who move in, who are strangers, who are maybe never quite fit in. And so it was that kind of a story. It's very well written, and I enjoyed it very much. I will admit, though, that this book is probably more geared toward women of a certain age. And so a young gentleman might not enjoy it as much. But it really does have some thought-provoking and also some funny things in it that I think we can all enjoy. So The Big Stone Gap, the main character, she is in her mid-30s. Her dad passed away a number of years ago. Her mom just passed away within the year. And so she is now kind of at a crossroads in her life. You know, what does she want? She did inherit the pharmacy from her father. And so she does work in the pharmacy in a small town of Appalachia. She thought she was all set, you know, working at a job, living comfortably, having friends, and doing community things. But unfortunately, when it came time to do her mother's will, she found out she was adopted. Well, not adopted, but the father who she thought was her father was not. And so that kind of throws her into a tailspin of, who am I and what do I want? And maybe this is the time where a change is okay. Fabulous writing. That's what really draws me to good books. I would definitely read more of the books by this author. I would also read more books that are kind of in this particular series. It's, you know, it deals with small towns. And so anybody who's grown up in a small town, you'll know what it's like. And so I think the author did a very good job with that. The main character, you know, in part of what does she want in life is because she's in her mid-30s, she's unmarried yet, is a working woman with a career. And again, what does she want? And I think everybody, man or woman, has come across that at different parts of their life. And so I just think that's what kind of appeals to me and it appeals to other people. Dan?
All right, so I shared my screen so you can see that the book is available right now for checkout on through the Sunflower e-library, so you can read it right now on your device at your house. But I enjoyed this book, probably not as much as other people would. I would agree that the writing is really good. And I also thought it was actually was more funny than I thought it was going to be. Like, there are a couple times in the book where you are laughing because there are just kind of some hilarious themes in it. I thought that the book does a good job of kind of explaining what like an immigrant experience would have been like in the time period that the book is set. I can't remember what that was now. Let's see if it says in the description here. It does not. But I want to say, was it the 50s?
No, it's going to be later. John Warner and Liz Taylor were married, and John was running for governor of Virginia. So I would say it'd be 60s or 70s.
60s, that's 70s. Right, 60s. So like you can tell that like it does a good job of kind of having this like immigrant sentiment that I think they handle really well in the book. And I also thought that some of the like conflict that the character has between her I'm going to say adopted father's family and her have after it finds out that it's not, you know, she's not a biological child, I think was very authentic sounding and believable in the story. And it is well written and a fun book to read. And I think if you need something to just sit down and kind of lose yourself in, this would definitely be a perfect book to do that too. So I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I think you're right as far as some of the immigrant stuff. Like, you know, in small towns, if you're the stranger, it's hard to fit in. And she shows us that even though she was born there in this town, because her mom was a stranger, she was still the outsider also in some respect.
Yeah.
So that I think plays through, especially how it is in small towns.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I loved the book. It was great.
So
An easy read, kick back.
perfect. Well, I will go ahead and introduce our book that we're going to read next together and discuss. And we're a little behind on Big Stone Gap. We're about a month late on getting it recorded because of everything, but we've got it figured out, so we're back. Excuse me. So our next book we're going to discuss, I actually own this book, called The Lady from the Black Lagoon, The Hollywood Monsters and the Lost Legacy of Milicent Patrick by Mallory O'Meara. Not to spoil too much, but Milicent Patrick is the lady who created the creature from the Black Lagoon. I think it gives it away in the title a little bit. But you can check this out on Hoopla on either audio or ebook format, and you can read along with us. And then once we post our review, you can tell us what you think. And we'll see you next time for one of our book reviews. Bye.